This really is a treat. And I'm going to begin by reading an extract from the very beginning, one of my favorite stories from the book.
It is a stealth missile, because as well as being morally serious, it's also a collection of absolutely rip-roaring stories. There's a chapter about an aeroplane crash that I literally had to sit up straight in bed and read with my knuckles clenched because I was so tense. And then there's a line with a pilot walking through that aircraft and watching parents wrap pillows around babies and knowing how futile that is, and it made me cry.
I think David's book acknowledges that the bullies do sometimes win. It's not a sort of soppy, feel-good, everyone should just be nice to everyone else. It's much more interesting and complex than that.
We know that being vile actually gets you rewarded, but how can you put together the right kind of package of those incredibly strong powers like the one that the Red Cross take into their meetings? And how can you use that to turn the tide? And how can you use it to open up that energy that you get with these senior executives when they realize that they can actually do the right thing? And this book tells you.
One of David's really helpful little short sentences that summarizes some of the principles in the book is listen without ego. And if you look at the acknowledgements at the end, what's clear is David has been listening with, walking with, being in friendship with people from across the world, from across disciplines, and listening without ego in order to bring this book about. And I am so glad that he has, because I really do think it is a morally serious book for a morally serious moment.
So here's the big question. This is what interested me. Can you make it, and not just maybe as a quiet professor off in the corner, but in really a tough competitive field on a construction site or in the military or in politics or in really competitive business with high rewards? Is there a path in between being like a bullying thug, we know that works, or being so soft that you're a little nebbish and everybody walks over you?
It's magic. It's magic, first of all, because of course it's always 3 stories. This is a David Bodanis book. You'd expect it to be 3 stories, right? And they're brilliant stories. And there's loads of people I haven't heard of. And there's people in there that I have heard of, but I'm seeing, of course, in a different way. But all the way through it, these are the so-called soft powers that are actually the hard ones. This is what will get you through to the other side, to the person who needs you on the other side of the road.
If you're only nice, it fails. People walk right over you, both men and women. If you have a job and agree with what everybody says, you're just crushed.
Loads of social science, loads of geeky stuff, lots of wisdom, brilliant stories. And the Sunday Times produced a review of the book. They said it was brilliant, and they're absolutely right. They also said David is obviously one of the nice guys. I don't know how they know, but he is.
It's also just packed full of quotes that I have underlined in the hope that I'll remember them and bring them out later at dinner parties and sound clever, and just some brilliant factoids that make you go, wow, I did not know that. And it is a really serious, significant message just smuggled in there. And it makes me feel hopeful. And I think it'll be widely and wildly read because of the ways that David's managed to use narrative and character and story and color to drive it. And the fact that I think it will be really widely read makes me feel hopeful. And the book made me feel hopeful.
I really admire that. And I think what I want to show in the book is you can be admirable and you can succeed.